Welcome to Embrace Yourself. My name is Kim, and I'm a movement specialist passionate about joy, health, and happiness. I want each of us to discover our healthiest, happiest selves. But to do that, we have to get up and move. Today, I'd like to teach a stretch for our inner thighs, known as our adductor muscles. I know people hate to stretch. I see it all the time at the gym. They're running out the door the second it comes to the stretching portion of the class. It is so important to stretch because if we don't mobilize our muscles and gain flexibility, we're going to become more and more rigid. The problem with that is we get tight in one segment of our body, but we're still asking our body to move and do things. Suddenly, we find that we're getting relative flexibility in another area of the body that was never meant to move the way we're asking it to. That is a recipe for disaster, and it means we get aches, pains, and potentially even injuries. I cannot emphasize enough how important not only foam rolling and fascia release is, but stretching the muscles, making sure that our ligaments and tendons and muscles are supple and ready for us to move. So let's get started. I'm going to use a stretch out strap, and I have a cushion for my head. Now, you don't need any equipment to stretch. You can just use your hands. But I'm just making sure that if anyone sits too frequently and notices that they have a head forward position, I'm giving you a cushion because I need that back of the spine long and I need my head elongated in alignment with my spine. I personally love the stretch out strap. It has handles that I can use in order to move through my stretch, but I could use a band or again, just my arms. I also like the strap because it comes with a booklet. So for my clients who are visual, it's a great way for them to just flip page to page and find the stretch that they want to do. We're going to take the strap and I'm going to place it around my foot. What I want you to do is go ahead and lay back. Now again, we're checking to see if we need the cushion in order to keep our head in alignment because I want a neutral neck and I want my spine long on the mat. If I don't need the cushion, I can just lay with my head in neutral. As long as I'm not jutting my neck, I'm happy with this stretch. From here, I can either take my opposite leg long or I can keep it flexed so that my knee is bent and I can open the leg out to the side. So this is an inner thigh stretch here. And what I'm making sure of is that I anchor the opposite hip. So you can even take your fingertips and check to make sure that the gluteals and the hip are anchored to the floor. I'm bringing the leg out, and there are two variations to this. One, I'm allowing the leg to go as far as possible without losing form on the other side. That would be relative flexibility. If I lift this opposite right hip to bring my leg down, I've just used my back to get into the stretch, which is not what we want. So I'm going to keep that anchored and only move to where I feel the stretch and I'm getting a nice release. I'm going to press through my heel and make sure to activate the inner thigh and the outer thigh. So I'm engaging my quadricep, which is that thigh front muscle, so that I can really enjoy this stretch. I want to focus on my breath. I want to check in with my opposite leg. If I've got it down or flexed, I want to make sure that I'm staying in alignment. Here I breathe. I meditate. Maybe I set a timer. I'm aiming for anywhere from 30 seconds at a minimum, but ideally I love a 90-second stretch, even up to 3 minutes. I know I'm asking a lot, so do what you can and just see over time if you can increase the stretch. I promise you will love it. Now, the other variation of this stretch is to bring the toes further back and try to reach my big toe towards my ear. Notice that I have areas of opportunity for improvement here because I can't get my big toe to my ear. So I'm working just to try and get that stretch. You'll find not only is this inner thigh, but it's also a lot of hamstring. So I'm working with a few muscles together. And again, I focus on my breath. I think about releasing and letting go. I pay attention to what's going on in my right hip. Am I grabbing from my psoas to do the stretch? If I am, make sure to bend your leg. Now, whatever I do on one side of the body, I have to do on the other. We never want to be imbalanced in our movement. So again, I take that strap, and let's say one side is a little bit tighter. I can move my hand down that strap or bring it back, but I'm just going out to the side. You'll notice that my hip is anchored. I'm making sure not to flare my ribs. I'm engaging in that core, and I'm going to line my leg up. I can also extend that leg if I like, but notice when I do that, I'm actually moving one up because I notice that I want to move through my psoas, through that front hip flexor. There is no shame or judgment in any movement. It's just noticing it, embracing it, and releasing, letting go, so that we can start to get better and more mobile throughout each exercise. Again, the final variation would be from here, bringing that big toe back towards my ear. What I love about stretching is I notice one side where I feel tighter, or one side where I say, I have an area of opportunity to improve movement there. I love to learn about my body so that I can try to move it the best way possible to prevent injury and pain in the future. So this is known as your inner thigh adductor stretch, and that is your home fun for today. Again, try to do at least 30 seconds, but you know what? If you're sitting watching television, take some time and do the stretch. You can do it with just your hands and work on that range of motion. If you're enjoying this, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Maybe click a like or a comment. Make sure to hit that bell icon. That will notify you of upcoming videos. Remember, this is my 365-day challenge to myself to grow, so I'm trying to post every day with new tips for you. Thank you so much for joining. I'm super excited to hear how you liked your home fun today, and I'll see you tomorrow.